Hello and welcome to the first proper video on this channel, and today we're going to be reviewing the original Child's Play film from 1988. I'm going to say this right now, not only is Child's Play my favourite horror franchise, it's also my favourite franchise overall. I don't know why, I just find something so entertaining in Chucky, and we're going to be reviewing every single Child's Play film. Yes, all 8 movies, from the good, the mediocre, the bad, the downright disgusting, and back to being good again. So without further ado, let's get into the review. So first things first, this movie has a very slow burn to it, but it's honestly very intriguing how they do it. The way they do it is that the audience itself is very aware. We know that Chucky is alive. We have the intro sequence with Charles Lee Ray dying and possessing a doll. We know that's all happening, but they do it in a way where we know Chucky's moving. The characters don't, but it's also not annoying. They make it in a way so we get to see the characters kind of learn and see what Chucky's getting up to, and I think that really makes it feel so much more distinct to most movies. For most movies, you're either learning with the characters or you're just painfully sitting there waiting for them to figure it out, and that's something this movie manages to completely avoid. However, this does also have a bit of a drawback, because it has a massive slow burn to it. When you do rewatchings of it, it then becomes quite slow and a bit tedious, because now you're just waiting for the whole Chucky revealing part. But other than that, it's a really good way and effective way to take this horror franchise, especially since in the later movies, they kind of drop this whole slow approach thing. And I think some of the other Child's Play movies could really benefit from it. So it's great to see that the first one did such a good job in its first outing. Another thing that really stuck out for me was the kills. The kills were all memorable, whether it was just simply Charles Lee Ray getting shot and then possessing Chucky doll, whether it was that the doctor getting electrocuted to death, or simply Eddie Caputo blowing himself up out of his own paranoia. All the kills were just fantastic. And it's amazing that they managed to pull off these really surprisingly looking kills in 1988. It actually surprises me that they could pull off this stuff. And another thing that they also managed to pull was the animatronics. The animatronics were absolutely phenomenal. The way that they make him feel so realistic, it actually looks like the dolls came alive and is moving, and they've just managed to catch a bit of footage of it. It looks fantastic. Where he's talking to John, the animatronics are just... It feels like he's a real person. It feels like he's standing there. And that's what I think makes this movie what it is. It really does feel like Chucky's moving. They're not cheap. They don't just have off-screen movements of Chucky. They don't only show his arm and legs. When he reveals himself, he reveals himself. He is present the entire film, and it honestly just makes it feel so much more better to see him walking around, doing all the actions right in front of our face. It makes it 10 times more scary, and I love it. It's great. I don't know if this is going to be a bit of a controversial pick, but personally, I thought the acting was really good. Alex Vincent as a 6-year-old kid does an absolutely great job as the main protagonist, despite him being 6 years old. He's so clumsy and adorable, and I think that actually really works. It kind of makes the movie more scary, because he is Chucky's main target, and since he's so clumsy, it honestly, you could believe that at any moment he could die. Or, well, in this case, get taken over and possessed. However, I can see the other side of the argument, how this movie was made in 1988, and acting back then was very different. Movie and film has evolved a lot, so a lot of the dialogue does feel quite outdated. But to be honest, that's bound to happen. In like 20 years' time, MCU films are going to seem cringy for not talking the way that we do in films in 20 years' time. It's just bound to happen, so I don't really think I don't think it draws back the movie that much. One scene they actually did really, really well was the Chucky reveal scene. I'm going to throw a few clips on here right now.
He wants you for a best friend. Yeah, sure.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Talk to me, damn it, or else I'm gonna throw you in the fire!
You stupid bitch, you filthy slut! Did you fuck with me?
That scene was just... It was great, because the whole time throughout the film, Chucky has been moving. Andy has been trying to convince everyone that he's alive. Everyone's been denying him, and then all of a sudden the batteries drop out the box and it's supposed to be inside his back. That was great! Another thing I want to mention about the film that was pretty decent was the comedy. While it wasn't exactly hilarious, it wasn't that bad. Like, every single time they made a joke, I was like, yeah, that's a good joke. I like it. And most of the jokes obviously came from Chucky one-liners, which is to be expected. At least we can appreciate that they didn't go overboard. Damn seed of Chucky. One final thing I want to mention before we get into the conclusion is, well, a lot of people don't like, and a lot of people online and in real life don't like how Chucky keeps coming back. Personally, I actually really like it. I like how he keeps coming back. He gets burnt, he gets shot, he gets beheaded. I love it. I think it's great because it makes him 10 times more unsettling. Every single time he comes back, you know, we've burnt it, we've blown it up, we've cut it into little pieces, and he still comes back. It makes him so much more unsettling, and you also never know what will actually take him out. And also, it also makes it so in the sequels, characters are 10 times scared of Chucky because, well, Andy has killed him 3 times and he still comes back. It's obviously terrifying for him, and I love it. I think that's something that the franchise really has and makes it a massive strength. And so, what's the conclusion? And that is, Child's Play is seriously a good film. If you've never watched it, I highly suggest you do. I do think the first viewing is easily the best. I love the slow burn, even though it does kind of get tedious upon rewatching. Chucky is creepy and is also comedic at the same time. It's the perfect balance, unlike the future sequels. Seed of Chucky. And overall, it's seriously a good film. I highly suggest you should watch it. And yeah, I guess out of every review, I will give each movie a rating out of 10. For this one, I'm very biased. I think it's a 9 out of 10. There are some things pulling it back from not being a 10 out of 10, and there are one more Chucky movie that I would prefer over it. But it's a seriously good film, and I think the few flaws it has isn't enough to warrant it going lower than 9 out of 10. And yeah, that's the whole video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. You can comment down below. Did you enjoy the film? Have you even watched it yourself? You can also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every single time I upload. Also, in the link down below, there will be my Twitch where you can watch me live, and also the highlights of those Twitch streams will be uploaded to my Instagram, which will also be in the links down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.